If your team got guaranteed money, tell them call me.
Whoop. Make me say, my. I done been around the world.
Yeah, I was made for this.
Player Performance with J.A. Cavalier.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to MLB Player Performance on this Saturday. It is Saturday, August the 9th, 2025. A big day in sports. We got all sorts of NFL preseason games. We have 16 baseball games, a doubleheader in Atlanta. Huge conversation to ensue. If you're in the chat, engage with us. We will engage with you. Gunz Picks, what's going on, brother?
Man, I'm having a absolutely great little run here. 9 out of my last 11 days, we've made cash for the VIPs. I'm going to have a max bet today. Go to my Telegram. You can go get that $49. I'm willing to put my damn season on it if you want to go grab that. But we got a big card today. We just talked about it backstage. And Shark, I think there's going to be a lot of linemen today. And, man, I can't wait to get into it. Let's do it.
Got the coffee flowing. If you guys are on the West Coast, it's 8:06 a.m. We love your commitment. If you're with us, we're going to bring you the top energy, picks, analysis, and hype. MLB Player Performance on a Saturday begins now.
I live the life, the bright lights, the type, the crowd lights. Where you at, ballers? Ladies, tell me and men, they want to be, they paid to come see me. Where you at, ballers?
Saturdays are for sending it. We are in August, and we are fired up. First game on the card, 1:15 in Atlanta. Doubleheader this afternoon and night. Game one, Marlins Braves. Ryan Gusto traded from the Astros, making his first start with the Marlins. And Hurston Waldrep pitching for the Braves. Gunz and I love to joke about these names. Classic baseball name. Can't say we know much about this guy other than the fact he has one win under his belt. He did win the Speedway Classic in Tennessee for Atlanta last weekend. Really tough game here, Gunz. Any thoughts?
Yeah, you said that Atlanta pitcher. You got to say it like you're a snooty stockbroker in the 80s, like Hurston Waldrep III. But you got to look at these two men pitching here. The problem with this is, you got data on Ryan Gusto, but his data is mostly towards the Houston Astros side because you have to watch that in this situation. Going to make his first start here for the Miami Marlins. Miami Marlins, of course, great on the road. They've just been kind of like rolling pretty red hot for the most part. I think they had a little bit of a fall off on Thursday, had the big lead, lost that one, but they got it done yesterday. Of course, that was a VIP for me, 2-unit play. But this game, I'm just going to be staying away from completely. And I don't even think I'm going to be really into game two. We'll get into game two further into the show. But at least for game one, I don't really have a take on this one. I may, if I had to pick one side or the other, I would probably just pick the Miami Marlins side, but I will guarantee this. I will not have a bet on this game, and I'm going to completely stay away.
Yeah, I mean, as we said, when we intro these games, oftentimes when a guy's making his first start for a team, also in a different league, it's just very unknown. There's just a lot of moving parts in this game. I will say this, in terms of the doubleheader, I do want to look at Sandy Alcantara in the second one. So I kind of want the Braves to win the first one because the split is a really legitimate element in these doubleheaders. Really tough game here. It seems like every single time we open up this show, the first game is complete trash. Gunz, I got to give you a shout on that little accent. It reminded me of Ferris Bueller.
Yeah, that's what it was. Mr. Fabersham!
Calling the principal, getting a
How dare you talk to me like that, Mr. Fabersham?
Classic movie from the early 80s. We're here in the 2020s, and we will keep it moving. Next game on the card, much better game here in New York. Bronx, New York, I should say. MLB Network, Astros at Yankees, game two. Framber Valdez at Luis Gil. Really interesting stuff developing here. We got a lot of conversation. Gunz, I believe you're looking at a first five take, and I have other stuff as well.
I know, you're going to probably see two different takes on this game, but I'll talk about mine here for a second. With Framber Valdez, lefty, of course, Houston, I think we've talked about Valdez in exhaustion on a lot of these shows, right? I've told you the stats. He's 13-2 in his last 15 starts. When Valdez is on the bump, he's lost his last two. Is it regression? Maybe, or is it maybe a time to start buying into this guy? in first fives as a road favorite, kind of not in the best spots here for Valdez. He's 1-5 in first fives as a favorite of -130 or less, and 1-4 in first fives on the road versus AL teams as well. And he's going against Gil or whatever you want to call Luis. Second start of the year. First outing was not great for him, so I'll give him that. But with the New York Yankees playing at home, 6-1 straight up in their last 7 home games versus the AL, and 5-2 in first fives last 7. I don't want to trust this guy full game on the Yankees side. Framer Valdez, at least in a 5-inning window, seems to underperform on the road, and I think it's a better opportunity to go and take the Yankees in this situation, money line first 5, and then just walk away from it together. While it's a little bit dicey, a little bit risky to take Gil here, I think it's going to be a Yankees first 5 spot. So that's the way I'm going to take this game. New York Yankees money line first 5.
Yeah, see, this game for me, I see a lot of guys in the chat talking about the Astros. I do lean towards the Astros for the game, and I think the most important point here is this is going to be a bounce-back start for Framber Valdez. His most recent start on Sunday in Boston, 7 hits, 5 earned runs in a loss. Key point on that game, though, first pitch was 11:35 in the morning. And as you guys know, we talk about this all the time. Off-grid games, you just get funky performances from all-star players. The guy clearly wasn't ready to go at 11:35 in the morning. I get it. We're ready to go at 11 in the morning, but Framber, you got to learn how to do it, brother. But I will say this. If you look at home pitcher Luis Gil, I'm a Yankee fan, so maybe I have a little more local knowledge on this guy than the average handicap. He's very, very heady, like notoriously heady. He's very capable of throwing literally almost no strikes. The guy has such a high walk rate. He just reeks of overthinking and stress. It's crazy to say that about a baseball player, but when I watch this guy, I'm like, chill, bro. It's okay. It's just throwing a baseball. But I think he's going to struggle today. And if you look at the actual line here, last year Heel did catch some wind at Yankee Stadium. It was really his first major season, as an elite level starter. I believe he went to the All-Star game last year, actually. He did beat Houston with emphasis 10-3. Key point, it was Justin Verlander. We've detailed Verlander, obviously, starting 0-8 with the Giants this year. I can't say I'm totally impressed by that. Yankees were favored in that game, -122. This is moving the other direction. Houston favored. And final point on Valdez. Valdez this year has 4 starts following a start where he had 4 or more earned runs. In those starts, he has only 3 earned runs against in 25 innings pitched. He is 3-1 straight up and 2-0 on the road. I think Houston gets the dub here. I was going to keep this for VIPs. Clearly, I like it a lot. Take Houston in the game. It's a VIP free play for those of you guys tuning in early on a Saturday. Gunz likes the first 5. I like Astros in the game. Be careful of Luis Gil going forward. Let's dominate. Next game on the card, we're going 4 o'clock. Not a lot of matinees today. Actually, only 3 games in the afternoon. 1 o'clock Pacific, Nats, Giants, game 2. Another pitching matchup, not really giving us a ton of access here. Brad Lord against Carson Whisenhunt. Again, these names are just absolutely incredible. I feel like they're straight out of a movie. When I was looking at the data here, Lord has spent most of the season in the bullpen, 19 appearances, only 4 starts. Whisenhunt, a true rookie, only 2 starts. The most noteworthy thing I could find on this, when you see a rookie pitcher laying upwards of -170, it's indicating strength. I don't like the game. I think San Francisco probably wins. Gunz, any thoughts?
Jesus, Shark. I mean, take a breath for a second on this beautiful Saturday morning. I felt like you just told me what the entire how to bet the Yankees for the entire season. You pontificated so much about that play, but he loves to play. And it was a VIP play, so trust the Shark on that one. So Washington, San Francisco in this situation. Brad Lord's going to be on the bump. 1-6 straight up in his last 7 starts. Washington is, but 5-1 to the under in his last 6. But Washington is also 3-1 straight up in Lord starts as a dog of +160 or less. So in this situation, we're looking at the line right now. I think we're looking at, it's right around that same type of line here. Then we got Carson Whisenhunt. High barrel rate, low K rate, 5.01 expected ERA. Third start of the season, 2-0 to the over in those situations. Also, what I'm looking at this game, I'm looking at how San Francisco performs against NL East teams. Now, they did get the win last night, but they're 2-7 straight up at home this season versus the NL East. Also, San Francisco has lost 8 straight at home, 3-9 straight up in their last 12 as a home favorite between -150 and -220. And they're 1-11 to the run line in those situations. While the run line is enticing, I think it's a little bit too heavily juiced. Let's take a little bit of a risk here. I think this Washington money line is probably a little bit more favorable, knowing situationally this San Francisco team underperforms in these spots. Like I said, what are they? 3-9 straight up. I don't think it's a gamble. I think we're playing the heavy-weighted coin on this one. Give me Washington money line. That's the way I take this game.
Yeah, I had Washington last night. I thought it was a sharp take. Jake Irvin on the road. If you were watching that game, I give a shout to you guys for your passion for baseball. It wasn't exactly a high-quality baseball game, but the Nats actually had the bases loaded, nobody out, top 5, somehow didn't score a run. When you have the bases loaded, nobody out, you're supposed to get 2.3 runs on average. They were down 2-0 in the game. The entire game flipped. I do like the buy low from that standpoint. As we said, very limited information on both sides of this game. Gunz, you mentioned the over. I have written down here over number best. You saw 5-0 last night. The Nats all year have been this team on the road that is very explosive with the bats. They're young. They have talent and upside. I think for me, the best number in this game would be the over. It's actually catching steam in the market now. I see it going up to 8.5 potentially in some points. Gunz, you're not officially on the over though?
No, I'm not on the total at all. I think I like the Washington side better.
Okay. Gunz likes Washington. I like the over, and we'll keep it moving. Night baseball. We got a ton of stuff going on tonight. Saturday night it is. Detroit against LA, the Angels. Comerica Park, 6:10 p.m. That is Eastern. Charlie Morton against Yusei Kikuchi. We've talked about this all year. Yusei Kikuchi is a home pitcher. He's not a road pitcher. Charlie Morton coming over in a trade. Gunz, I think we're looking at the home team.
I think we're looking at runs here. That's what I'm looking at in this one. With a high barrel rate, high walk rate, expected ERA for Kikuchi is 4.27 off a 3.22 current. He's expected to do some regression, but I think it's more run-oriented than anything else. Now, Kikuchi did face Detroit on the road already, plus 124 dog, lost on the run line, money line on an 8 total that went over. So we're looking at the total here. It looks like it's 8.5, so it's a little bit of an uptick from the first matchup on the road. Also, got to look at LA Angels 5-1 to the over in Kikuchi's last 5 road starts, and 3-1 to the over in Kikuchi's road starts when the total is 8 or less. So the way I'm looking at this game, I think we're going to be looking at runs. Even though with Charlie Morton in his second start with Detroit, his expected ERA is lower than his current. But I just think this is more of a over situation. Runs are going to be scored in this one. So the way I'd play this one is the LA Angels Detroit over. Just a lean, but I think that's the way I do it.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree. Obviously, as we said, we've seen Kikuchi all year on the road be just absolutely pedestrian. Charlie Morton, kind of a tough read. If you guys remember the Baltimore situation, he was absolutely horrendous coming out of spring training and then got sent to the bullpen. Did figure something out, has looked good since. If I had to lean one direction, I would lean towards Detroit. Gunz, just to clarify, I believe that game that Kikuchi faced the Angels was at home in Los Angeles, not on the road. On Thursday, May 1st, 10-4 loss against Casey Mize. That all being said, LA did actually open as a small favorite in that game. So this is showing strength towards Detroit. And of course, we've talked about this for weeks. Detroit is extremely high on themselves and probably going to the playoffs with some emphasis this year. So I would lean towards Detroit in this game, and we will keep it moving. Next game on the card, Reds Pirates game 2 in Pittsburgh. You saw it last night. Pirates are very good at home. It is unavoidable. This team has shown significant upside at home all year. They're currently 34-27, right outside the Three Rivers there in Pittsburgh. It's a beautiful backdrop, highly underrated stadium in professional baseball. I could see the Pirates getting there tonight. This is a bullpen game. Braxton Ashcraft probably only going 1 or 2 innings against Nick Martinez. Gunz, we were talking before the show about this. Probably the Pirates to continue their home dominance.
Yeah, you're right. I marked that down wrong. It was home plus 124 home dog in that situation. In this game, Nick Martinez is going to be on the mound. You look at his statistics, right? Low walk rate, low K rate. Cincinnati is 6-1 straight up in his last 7 starts, 4 straight unders in those situations. But the dynamic with him road home is a little bit different. 3-8 straight up in his last 11 road starts. And he's off back-to-back road wins. Is there going to be a little bit of an uptick for him? We'll have to see on this one. Third time, though, Martinez has been a favorite on the road, has underperformed in those situations. 0-2 straight up, 2-0 to the under in those spots. And one of those road favorite losses was, lo and behold, the Pittsburgh Pirates, where Martinez was a -147 road favorite in that situation. Now a shorter road favorite here. Braxton Ashcroft is going to be on the mound, so it's going to be a bullpen game approach on this one. Now, the last time that Ashcraft has started, he started once. It was back in June. It resulted in a divisional win versus the Milwaukee Brewers. A lot of under trends with this Pittsburgh team too. 9-3 to the under as a money line. When the money line is -150 or less for the Pittsburgh Pirates, and 6-2 to the under in those spots. But this Pittsburgh team really has played very well versus divisional opponents as of late. 9-2 straight up in their last 11 home games. So I think this is more of a Pittsburgh take on this one, even though the bullpens are going to be taken over here for Pittsburgh. And we know the bullpens are a little bit dicey here for in that situation. But the line is telling me this is a Pittsburgh spot, knowing that Nick Martinez underperforms on the road. Give me Pittsburgh money line. That's the way I'd play this one.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't disagree. You gave all the details, sharp stuff there. I think the over is the best look in this game. Last night you saw it under 3-2. Shout out to Pittsburgh. We had Pittsburgh in VIP. I believe there was a triple, 2-out triple, bottom 8 to put 2 runs across for the Pittsburgh victory. Point being here, this is actually the 3rd game of the series. This is one of the only series that did start 2 days ago on Thursday. You've seen 2 unders so far. Gunz officially had the Skeens under 7-0 on Thursday. Last night, again, a very clear take under. This is where it comes the other direction. Obviously, you guys in the chat are saying it. Martinez is really kind of a gas can on the road. He's far better at home. He's gone under in a few consecutive starts, all at home. Just go through his road starts, very inflated. And final point on this, that start he did pitch at Pittsburgh back in May, 1-0 final against Bailey Falter. Of course, Falter now with Kansas City. But at that point in time, Falter was a very effective home pitcher at PNC Park. The line was 7.5. That was a real playoff-style low, almost Paul Skeens type of line. And the books nailed it, 1-0. It doesn't get any lower than that. And now they're moving it up. I have this game to hit 10 runs. Giving you guys this one. Take the over in this game, and let's cash. Next game on the card, 7 o'clock, 7:05 to be exact, in Baltimore. Athletics Orioles game 2. You saw it last night. Pitchers duel Sugano versus Ginn. I think it's the same conversation. We just said it with the Pittsburgh game. I think this probably goes the other direction. A lot more runs. You have a very ambiguous pitching matchup here. Jack Perkins, I can't say I'm familiar, and Brandon Young, not looking particularly good. Gunz, I believe the over is the best look in this game.
I agree with you on that one. I think this is where runs are going to be scored. You have Jack Perkins that's on the mound. He does have a low barrel rate. Current ERA is 3.97. Expected is supposed to drop, but you got to understand this is like treated like a relief pitcher, so you got to throw those stats out the window. Second start for Perkins this year. First start, he went 3 innings, gave up 4 runs versus an Arizona team as a -120 road favorite. And Arizona, of course, they're falling off a cliff. Second highest road total for the Athletics versus the AL East this season as well. They're 7-3 to the over versus the AL East on the road this year. Brandon Young gives up runs. He's got a high barrel rate, high walk rate, low K rate, and so all boxes checked for runs when he's on the bump. 5.88 current ERA, and Baltimore is 5-1 to the over in his last 6 starts. Also highest total for Young in this situation as well. I would shop around. I think you can find some good value. Maybe you can find a 9 with some juice in this situation. Maybe 9.5 with less juice. If you shop around. I know the line is kind of ticking downward, which is a little bit concerning to me, but I still think there's going to be runs scored in this game between these two pitchers. So I think they get it done. Give me the over full game in this spot.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree. I haven't gotten there yet officially, but the over is absolutely the best look in this game. Not much more to say. As we said, both these teams probably not going to the playoffs. I think, truthfully, I'm more impressed with the Athletics this year. Having to go play in a minor league stadium, being very impressive. This is an upside team going forward. They're going to be in Vegas, obviously, but I think we're going to see some good days coming from the Athletics going forward. So a lot of moving parts, obviously. We'd love to talk in terms of the fan bases. You know, the Oakland fans going to root for them. They're going to hate them. It's like when the Sonics moved to OKC. Are people from Seattle rooting for SJ and the Thunder? I don't know. Interesting conversation. Take the over, and we will keep it moving. Next game, we're going divisional baseball. White Sox, Guardians, Rate Field, Southside Chicago. Game 2 here. Joey Cantillo at Sean Burke. I saw a bunch of people taking the White Sox yesterday, calling it a sharp take, this and that. Gunz had the run line, Guardians. I had the money line. We know when to take the public side and the sharp side. Gunz, this one's a little more difficult tonight. Sean Burke is far more representative as a home pitcher than Aaron Savale last night. I don't really love fading the Guardians anyway. Any thoughts?
It's a good talking point. You kind of jumped off on that one. Sometimes you think it's like the sharp side, basically how money's moving and stuff like that. And sometimes you just have to look at the why. If you can find out the why, be like, oh, okay, there's some validity to that, then yes, you should probably take that bet. However, if it doesn't make any sense, don't do it, because it was a Cleveland spot all day long yesterday. Shark had it right. I took the run line because I knew they were going to blow them out of the water, and sure as shit, they did. But in this situation, I think we're looking at the same type of outcome here, but we get some value on the money line, so we don't have to take the run line in this spot. Joey Cantillo on the mound, high walk rate, high K rate, 3.9 expected ERA from his 4.37 current. Expect better things from Cantillo. The over is a big trend with him, 4-1 to the over in his last 5 starts, but the total has ranged from 8 to 9, which you're going to get in this situation here. 3-0 to the over as a favorite this season as well. And then you got the line functionality that we always talk about on this show. Cantillo faced the White Sox back on July 13th. Road favorite, -140 in that situation. Game went over. Similar money line and total here. So probably the outcome is going to be the same as what the books are going to tell you. And then you got to look at Sean Burke. The White Sox have not performed for him. 1-9 straight up in his last 10 starts and 5 straight home losses. When Burke has been on the bump, and then 1-4 straight up and 5-0 to the over in Burke starts versus divisional opponents. Then you just got to look at these two teams matchup. Now, this will be the 9th time that these teams have faced each other. Cleveland is 7-1 straight up in those situations. However, if you're looking at first 5 type of situations, I would probably talk you off of that because it's more of a coin toss. They're 2-2-3 in first 5s when these two teams match up. So maybe some late inning antics could happen in this game. There may be a little bit of a sweat, but I think what's going to happen here is Cleveland's going to get it done. Once again, just trust the matchup. If Cleveland keeps beating them, they're going to continue to beat them. Give me Cleveland money line as the play.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't disagree. As you said, line functionality on both sides of this game. And Sean Burke, as you said, the White Sox are just not really repping this guy. He actually started 6-3 at home this year, which was just too hot. I mean, he's got upside going forward. He's a young pitcher coming up from Massachusetts, actually, but he's 0-3 last 3, and that does include a margin loss against Cleveland prior. The line is stronger. I think the White Sox are kind of a sexy dog. I can't say I'm behind it. They've had their day. I think this is probably a Guardian spot. Do not love this game, but Gunz does like the Guardians, and we will keep it moving. Next game on the card, 7-10 as well. Same division. Far better game. Royals Twins game 2. Noah Cameron at Bailey Ober. We talked about this last week. The Twins won 13 straight games in the first half of the season. They've been very inconsistent all year. And then all of a sudden at the trade deadline, they decided we're giving up, basically. They traded 40% of their roster roughly, and the team just looks like they're in complete disarray. Of course, they have actually won 3 straight games coming into this game. So people would say, Shark, what are you talking about? I think that was just a bit of a small window heater, an outlier. I think it comes the other direction tonight. Gunz, I believe we align on this one. Looking at Kansas City.
Yeah, I think that's the best look on the board. I couldn't talk you off the over either. This is another high-ish number, and I'll get to that in a second because Cameron has some matchup. Actually, both pitchers have some matchup data against one another. But you got to look at Cameron. Cameron's a lefty, right? Casey is 4-1 straight up in Cameron's last 5 starts and 5-1 straight up in first 5s in his last 6. So finally, this Kansas City team with this good pitcher who's been great in first 5s they're getting W's for him now. Finishing the starts. Now on the other side for the road, now KC is 2-5 straight up in Cameron's road starts, but this will be the first time he's been a road favorite. So take note of that. That's going to be it. That's a key thing in here. He's been a dog in every single one of those situations on the road. Not great, but a favorite here. So that's a little bit of a red flag. Now you got to look at Cameron. he's been a favorite 5 times this season. Granted, they've all been at home. He's 4-0-1 in first 5s, and that includes 4 shutouts. He's 4-1 to the under in those spots as well. Then you got Cameron faced Minnesota on the road last year. This year, plus 163 dog in that spot. Lost the game 3-1 with a total of 7.5. You're seeing Cameron as a favorite and a total at 8.5. Means it's probably going to be a run scored in this game, and he's going against Bailey Ober. And if you've looked at Bailey Ober's stats as of late, Minnesota has just underperformed for him. 0-8 straight up in his last 8 starts. He's 6-1 to the over in those spots as well. Ober has faced KC twice, home road. 0-2 straight up and 2-0 to the under. The lines in those were -102 and -111 in those spots. Now you're seeing him as a home dog. That is a red flag altogether. I think KC gets it done. This is a KC spot all day long. Love this play. This will be on my VIP card. For you VIP people who are watching the show, hit the like button, baby. KC money line first. Actually, you can take first 5 too, whatever. Money line full game is the way I'm going to play this one.
Yeah, no, I would agree. I think, just jumping off the Ober conversation, you said they're 0-8 last 8 in his starts. When I saw that, I was actually kind of blown away because this guy's been solid for a few years now. It's not just the team not backing him. He's actually been awful. I was really surprised. 34 earned runs against in his last 35 innings pitched. That is sustainably terrible. I think even more alarming, 16 home runs against in those 35 innings. This guy's just throwing batting practice. And he's tall. He's about 6'7". He kind of just throws a straight pitch. And I think the league has caught up to him. And I think he's also been notably heady for years. He's always had that element in him. If it's a matinee, he's sketchy. It means he's a thinking person. And what that means within this Twins situation, he's not feeling the vibes. He's seeing them gut the team. He's kind of just out the door. And Noah Cameron is a buy low on the road. As Gunz mentioned, first time favored this year. Quite the opposite conversation. Cameron, 41 1/3 innings pitched on the road, only 11 earned runs against, but somehow 2 and 5 in those games. Casey's a great look. Buy it, live it, love it, and let's dominate. Next game on the card, going to Milwaukee. You saw it last night. Real tight one, 3-2 Milwaukee in extra innings, I believe, or maybe it was just late in the game. Mets fans, including Burnsy, were complaining about it. They were saying, Mets, come on. Well, the Mets are 1-9 last 10, and now they don't even have a starting pitcher listed. Mets, what is going on? Guys, you got to continue to fade, I think, right?
I mean, it's -130 for the home team here with the Brewers. The problem is I don't have any data on the pitchers, and that's kind of what, for me to make a bet, I need something. You got to give me something here, guys. You don't have a pitcher. I don't even know who the starter is going to be. I'm assuming it's going to be somebody out of the bullpen on this one. And if it's a bullpen game, do you really want to trust the Mets? No, I don't want to trust them here. And Tobias Myers, the problem with him is he hasn't had a start since May 17th. 2-3 straight up, 3-2 to the under in his games this season. Is he going to come out rusty? Who knows? Very tough play. I think this is a gamble if you take one side or the other, whether you're taking the money line side or the run line side or even the total. I just don't know what's going to happen in this game. So if you just want to fade the cold Mets, go ahead. But I'm going to pass on this game.
Yeah, this is a really tough game. Obviously, as Gunz said, it's hard to handicap again. We don't know one side of the pitching matchup. I will say this. The line is pretty high for the total at 9. You saw it last night. It was a real low-scoring game. Obviously, Brandon Woodruff just running a really clean campaign. But this guy Myers only has one home start on a Saturday. It was going back months ago against Minnesota. He was actually terrible in the game. 3 2/3 innings pitched, 11 hits, 3 earned runs. The Mets are going to break out of it at some point. They were about 20 games over 500. Now they're 10. It's just kind of the ebbs and flows of baseball. I don't really have a side in this game, but I do think the total is fairly noteworthy. And this is the third specific game on this show. We've said under yesterday, over today. It's a zigzag of baseball. Best look in this game is the over, and we'll keep it moving. Next game, we are going back to Atlanta, 7:15, game 2. Sandy Alcantara, Eric Fetty. Really interesting stuff here. Eric Fetty obviously traded from St. Louis a couple weeks ago. Only 2 starts with Atlanta. Took a home loss against Milwaukee and a road loss against Kansas City. Miami, in my opinion, is just the better team. We've mentioned this numerous times as well. Atlanta was projected number 2 overall in the team total futures market back in March. They're just injured at an alarming rate. Sandy Alcantara has looked awful on the road. I think he's a buy low. I don't know. Gunz, any thought?
The problem with this pitching matchup, yes, you have data on both pitchers. Eric Fetty's data is more geared towards the St. Louis side because it's only his 3rd start of the year for the Atlanta Braves. When you look at Alcantara in this situation, low K rate, he has a lower expected ERA versus his current. Miami is 8-4 in his last 12 starts, 4-1 straight up in his last 5 road starts. The second time he's been a road favorite, and the last time he was a road favorite was against the Chicago White Sox back on May 11th. That ended up being a loss. He's just been a bad pitcher when he's been a favorite. I don't know if it's a mentality thing. I don't know if these pitchers look at the lines before they go in. I'm just going situationally here. Miami is 1-5 straight up and 0-6 to the run line, and Alcantara starts as a favorite. Eric Fetty is not a backable pitcher either. I mean, high walk rate, low K rate, high barrel rate. This dude gets pelted every time he hits the mound. I'm surprised he's not in the minor leagues at this point. 2-12 straight up in his last 14 starts, and that includes 7 straight losses. 3rd start for Atlanta, like I said, he's 0-2 straight up in those situations. First 5s, Atlanta is 2-12 in first 5's last 14 games, and 4-12 straight up in their last 16 games. So this is a cold team. However, Miami with Alcantara on the mound as a favorite is not backable either. So I just marked skip this game, doubleheader situation. I don't like doubleheaders at all, so I'm gonna pass.
Yeah, as I said, I hope the Braves win the first game so I can back Miami in game 2. I think Sandy is a buy low, and something I found in terms of his road stats that kind of blew me away. He has 41 earned runs against in only 41 2/3 innings pitched. Very similar to what we said about Bailey Ober, almost 1 run per inning, which is terrible over a fairly large sample. But the point here with Alcantara, he really has just gotten unlucky. 41 earned runs, only 55 hits against, which is actually pretty insane. So I think in terms of the actual dispersion and the peripheral data, he's due to improve. And he did pitch well against Atlanta on a Sunday in June, the 22nd. Miami 5-3, 6 innings pitched, 6 hits, only 3 earned runs. Key point, Atlanta, strong road favorite, now a dog. It's all over Sandy. You don't want to back Fetty. And final point on this, we said this about Minnesota. These teams are just gutted. They're not playing. Atlanta's looking forward to next spring training when they get healthy. I think Miami's looking this game, and we'll keep it moving. Next game on the card, Fox National. More divisional baseball. I got to say, this brings a smile to my face. We wait around all year for this. Divisional games in August with data. Cubs Cardinals game 2. Colin Ray and Andre Palante. Last night, I gave you guys the Cubs. It did not come through at all. I was very surprised on that. The Cardinals have been unpredictable this year. A little bit hard to read. This is going to be a tough game for me. I think the under is probably the best look. I don't know. Gunz, any thoughts?
I can see how you can get to the under, and I saw somebody mention a Nerfy. I'm going to ban you if you start mentioning Nerfies in this chat. You guys, you can don't take that stuff to the prop master and coach when he does it during the week because, does the prop master love a good Nerfy? Not here, folks. I don't want to see it in my chat. I will ban you. I'm just kidding, guys. Just relax. All right, let me kind of go into this game. Colin Rea, low walk rate, low K rate, high barrel rate. He's an over pitcher. A lot of the situations, 5-2 to the over in his last 7 road starts. He's 4-2 to the over versus divisional opponents. So you go to the Palante side, low barrel rate, low K rate. So he gets guys out through just them hitting ground balls or pop-ups or something like that. But he's 1-6 straight up in his last 7 starts, 2-5 straight up in his last 7 home starts. He faced Chicago back on June 26th versus Imanaga. Was a plus 122 home dog in that situation. Now you're seeing him as a, it's kind of like a coin toss line here, in my opinion, between the two teams from a side perspective. But also, St. Louis is 4-1 to the under, and Palante starts versus divisional opponents. So you got to ask yourself, is the line telling you an understory or an overstory because you have an over pitcher versus an under pitcher? Problem with that is, I just couldn't get there on paper, and I just thought there was better plays on the board, so I passed on this game.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, the Cardinals really have been one of the top, most unpredictable teams in the entire league. I mean, Gunz, remember we were talking about this off the record, and we were saying, what is the deal with the Cardinals? It's like every time they're supposed to lose, they somehow win. They're supposed to win, they somehow lose. In terms of the actual under in this game, Colin Ray did pitch against St. Louis at home, one of those Friday matinees at Wrigley, actually July 4th. It was July 4th, 2:20 p.m. in Chicago. He pitched well, only one earned run in 6 2/3. And as you mentioned, Palante faced Shota Imanaga at home, 3-0 final. He has good numbers against this lineup as well. I just think this is going to be a playoff-style matchup. The rivalry is very real between these teams. I think both pitchers will show up for the moment. Top look in this game would be the under for me if you guys want to bet this game, and we will keep it moving. Next game on the card, also Fox National. I think most of the market will probably see this game across the country. Rangers-Phillies game 2. Jesus Luzardo at Jacob deGrom. Said it last night, Christopher Sanchez, small road favorite. That would be a win. That was correct. Now it flips to Texas. This is where you want to back deGrom, in my opinion. Gunz, I believe you align.
Yeah, I align with this one. I think this is a Texas or pass type of situation with Luzardo. He's 6-0 with the over in his last 6 starts. You got to look at the situation versus AL teams. I mean, Luzardo hasn't been the strongest pitcher against the AL. 3-4 straight up, 6-1 to the over in those spots. He's also 2-4 to the over in Luzardo's last 6 road starts. So kind of a pitcher in the situation, road versus the AL, kind of a recipe for disaster for Luzardo. And you got deGrom. deGrom, of course, great numbers. However, Texas is 1-4 straight up in his last 5 starts, 6-0 to the over in those situations as well. Maybe a lean towards the over in this one. The problem is with that one, I just didn't like the line. I didn't like the total. I thought the total would be a little bit higher. Texas 9-2 straight up in his last 11 home starts and 6-2 to the over in those spots as well. So yeah, all the trends are telling you to take the over, but I think it's more stronger on the side because really Texas with deGrom on the mound. deGrom, of course, has a lot of familiarity going against NL teams in his career. He's 3-1 straight up against the NL this season. So I think it's more of a Texas spot versus a Philly spot. Going against the lefty in Luzardo, hasn't done well on the road. He's been a road dog only twice this season. It was against Atlanta. It was against Schwellenbach. He's 0-2 straight up in those situations as well. Got him as a dog here. Just take the other side. Give me Texas money line. That's the way I play this one.
Yeah, I would agree. And just jumping off that very briefly, Luzardo does have 4 starts against the American League this year on the road at Tampa, at the Athletics, at the Blue Jays, and at the White Sox. Favored in all 4. First time as a dog at the American League this year. And something I picked up on with deGrom when I was looking at this, which I thought was pretty incredible. deGrom is incredibly spot-specific environmentally this season. He's 0-6 road in the division. He's 4-1 road out of the division, and he's 9-2 at home and 1-0 at home as a favorite against the National League. He did hammer down on the Cardinals 8-1 back in June. It's got to be a Rangers spot. Final point on this. You want to buy the Rangers in terms of their actual team metrics as well. They're only 3 games over 500. They're 14 over 500 at home in Arlington. And their run differential is incredibly impressive, plus 62. The Rangers are one of the best buy teams in the entire sport. Won the championship 2 years ago. Been a little flat since. I think this is an upward movement point for them. Great look tonight on Texas, and we'll keep it moving. Next game on the card, Chase Field, Phoenix, Arizona. Rockies, Diamondbacks, 8:10 Eastern. That is actually 5:10 Pacific. I had to look this up. I didn't know if Phoenix was Mountain Time or Pacific Time. It is Pacific Time. That brings a bit of an unknown to the environment. These guys are not used to playing at 5:10 in the afternoon. This is Blaylock at Rodriguez. This is interesting. This kid Blaylock has been awful at Coors Field, but good on the road. And Gunz, I know you picked up on that. Looking at Colorado.
I did. And I've kind of trusted Blaylock in some of these situations. And I think this is a perfect spot to trust him. Now, everyone thought I was crazy when I took Colorado, Arizona under 9. It looked bleak for a while, but they took the foot off the gas pedal. No runs were really scored at the late innings. So I got that under to cash yesterday. But with Blaylock on the mound, his statistics, low walk rate, low K rate. He's more of a contact pitcher. His expected ERA is lower than his current, so that's good there. 2-4 straight up in his last 6 starts, 5-1 to the over. But you got to look at the situational play here in first fives. Blaylock has really pitched well, 3-1 straight up in the first fives. Blaylock is 0-2 straight up into the over versus divisional opponents. But Colorado has really done well on the road in terms of run line, keeping it close, keeping it competitive. They're 8-4 into the run line in their last 12 games. So take note of that. Go into Rodriguez. Rodriguez, unbackable pitcher. Please don't put money on him in any type of situation. He is a lefty, 1-5 straight up in his last 6 starts, 1-6 straight up in his last 7 home starts. This is the highest favorite that Rodriguez has been in this year. But if you look at Arizona, when he is a favorite of -150 or more, they have underperformed. They're 0-3 straight up in those situations and 2-1 to the over. Also, Arizona is 3-9 to the run line as a favorite in Rodriguez's starts overall. So with all that being said, I think there's some validity here to take Colorado on the run line. It's a little bit scary, knowing the bullpens, knowing how bad Colorado is. It's always shaky and dicey in a lot of the situations, but I really think this game is going to be close here with Rodriguez on the bump. So Colorado plus 1.5 is just a lean, but I think that's the way I'd play this game.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get there. Back in the Rockies for me it's like almost saying trust Haney, trust the Rockies. Gunz, you were giving me some trash for backing these teams on losing streaks. What's gotten into you? What's going on?
Bill Blaylock's no, it's run line road. Okay, like I said, 8-4. It's fine, but you have to find the situation here. And Blaylock, he hasn't pitched bad. I think the bullpen's kind of let him down in some of those situations. Maybe a first 5 on the run line could be the one to take. Knowing you can just rock with Blaylock versus Rodriguez. Maybe I'm taking this the wrong way. I haven't really been officially on this one. It's not on my card yet. I'm looking for an angle here to take Colorado. Maybe it's run line first 5. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, just one point. I mean, you said it, but I'll just give some emphasis to it. This kid, Bradley Blaylock, he's only 24 years old, right? So talk about like just coming into baseball and just getting like kind of like a bad hand, to get drafted by the Rockies. He's been awful at Coors this year. 27 earned runs in only 18 2/3 innings pitched. On the road, only 4 earned runs in 17 innings pitched. It doesn't get much more polarized than that. So you do want to back this guy on the road. And as you mentioned, Eddie Rodriguez bounced around, journeyman at this point, just ineffective. I could see Colorado plus 1.5 cashing, but we will keep it moving. Next game on the card, 8:40 Eastern, 5:40 Pacific. Very, very noteworthy game here. You got Michael King returning from shoulder injury, 60-day IL. This is going to be a difficult spot to back the Padres, and the market agrees. Overnight, this was sitting around -175. It's only -139 now. You saw the Red Sox take care of the Padres last night. I can see the Red Sox doing it again. Gunz, another day, another time to talk about the beautiful hat you're wearing. What's going on with the Red Sox?
I already put a video out for this one. Well, I'm going to put a video out on this one. This is going to be the free play here today, 8-2 in my last 10. Of course, we missed the free play. I would say, well, it was moderately dramatic fashion, but I digress. We got Giolito on the mound here for Boston. High barrel rate, low walk rate. Boston has just really performed for him on the mound. 10-2 straight up in his last 12 starts. 6-2 on his last 8 road starts. He's going against Michael King, and I think Shark said it. He's coming back from shoulder surgery. He hasn't pitched since May 18th, and even when he was pitching and not in healthy, he was 1-5 straight up in his last 6 starts, 2-5 straight up in King starts versus AL teams. He faced a lot of AL teams early in the season, so I'd rather trust this red hot Boston team. Why jump off the wagon now? I mean, this team is just kind of motoring along. San Diego has really not been a bettable team in a lot of situations here, unless maybe you can get some value with Hugh Darvish or something like that. But I think this is more of a Boston spot once again. Just keep riding the train here. Boston, Giolito on the mound. Get it done for the Sox. Boston, money line, full game.
Yeah, I mean, Giolito running a 6-3 straight up on the road. Very effective. And just one point on injuries. When guys come back from shoulder problems, you don't want to get involved on that side. I do think that at some point Giolito might give up runs on the road. He's actually had 7 home runs against last 4 starts at the National League. That would actually lead me towards an over. You saw the Padres do absolutely nothing last night. This is, again, kind of a funky first pitch time. This is 5:40 Pacific. I could see an over in this game. Gunz likes the Red Sox, not because he's a fan, because he's a sharp-ass MLB handicapper. Let's dominate. Next game on the card, 6:10 Pacific, 9:10 Eastern, Dodgers-Blue Jays Game 2. Another really high-quality game coming here. Last night, maybe a little lackluster, 5-1 Dodgers. They got their bottom of fifth. If you guys had Dodgers first five, Mookie Betts, 2-run shot with 2 outs in the fifth. Doesn't get any more clutch than that. This is going to be another Dodgers spot, in my opinion. Blake Snell is 2-0 at home. Neither win by emphasis, both 1-run wins. I have a 1-run Dodgers win here tonight. Gunz, any thoughts?
I think it's going to be runs. I tried to take the over yesterday. Didn't come to fruition, even though I think the Dodgers at one point had the bases loaded with no outs and got some runs, but they just couldn't get to the over because Tampa's bats were just weak sauce yesterday. But Bassett on the mound, high walk rate, low K rate, 12-5 straight up in his last 17 starts. Toronto is, but he's 10-3 to the over in his last 13. So runs are scored when he's on the mound. Now you got to look at the other side, though. Pendulum swings when he's on the road. 3-7 in his last 10 road starts, but he's 5-1 to the over in his 6 road starts. A lot of overs trends on this one. And then you got to look at 6-1 straight up in full game in first fives. Bassett is versus NL teams. But take note, most of those were home. He's 1-1 at home. I mean, on the road versus NL teams here. And they're going against a team that maybe, after a very cold start after the All-Star break, maybe this Dodger team is starting to wake up. We'll have to see on that one. But Blake Snell is going to be in the mound, 4th start of the year. He's coming off a loss versus an AL East team, -113 road favorite in this situation. And he's kind of a high favorite here at home versus another AL East team. But I think runs are going to get scored. If you look at the trends for Toronto versus NL West teams, a lot of overs start to hit, and we didn't have an over yesterday, so I think it's going to transition into a high-scoring event here. I like the first 5 over. I like the full game over. I haven't decided which one I'm going to take, but I'm definitely going to be taking runs in this game. I think over's the way to take it.
Yeah, now that I'm looking at the line, I think I said 1-run game. I think this could actually get to some margin. Snell has been reasonable at the National League this year. But the key point is he was a small dog at the Mets. Mets were laying 125, 1-run game. And he did have a 10-9 win at St. Louis. Toronto was favored -120. Point being, very tight lines to a pick'em environment. This is the first margin line against Bassett at the National League this year. And something that I found, which kind of blew me away, Bassett has 6 road losses this year by an average of 7.7 runs per game. If he loses on the road, he gets basically demolished. You see some of these like 15-1. I believe he lost like 22. Like he just gets absolutely demolished. And, speaking of getting demolished, last year he faced the Dodgers at home. The Dodgers beat him 12-2. 2 home runs against. Ohtani took him yards. So did Muncy. 2 2/3 innings pitched, 9 hits, 3 walks, 7 earned runs. Now that I'm thinking about this a little more in detail, I think the Dodgers might absolutely lay down the hammer. They're very due for it. They're the best team in the sport. They're the defending champs. They've been lackluster for a few weeks. Even last night, as I said, 2-1 through 5, kind of just like scrapped it 5-1. Dodgers are due for one of those games where they just lay down and score double-digit runs. I'll give you guys a free play. Take the Dodgers on the money line, and let's cash. Final game on the card, 9:40, national game here, MLB Network, T-Mobile Park in Seattle. Rays-Mariners game 2. You talk about 2 teams that are very evenly matched. You saw it last night, 2-0 Rays. All of a sudden, Griffin Jacks, dude, just stay on Minnesota. Don't bring your misery over to the Rays. Guy comes in, bottom 8. Seemed like the Rays were in complete control. Single, Cal Raleigh, 43rd home run. We had the Rays. I had to take a walk around the block after that. That being said, I think the Rays are still a bye team. Gunz, any thoughts?
I took first 5 and got the hell out of there, so that was a good catch for me. Rasmussen, first 5s. Just take note of that. Been very, very profitable. And this situation is going to be a different pitching matchup, though, and I think the total has some validity here. 4th start here for Joe Boyle. What a name. Ugh. Joe Boyle. It just sounds gross. 1-2 straight up, 2-1 to the over in his starts. 2 home shutouts, but he got rocked on the road versus the New York Yankees. So maybe we're going to see some trends with Boyle. Terrible road pitcher, good home pitcher. We'll have to see on that one. Logan Evans on the other side. High barrel rate, low K rate. Expected ERA is like 1.5 runs higher than his current. 4-2 straight up, 5-1 to the over in his home starts this year, and 6-3 to the over versus AL teams. Seattle is also 4-1 to the over in Evans starts when the total is 8 or less. So don't get shy on this total, even though it's sitting at 7.5 or 8. I think there's going to be runs scored in this game. Didn't really have the runs yesterday, right? 3-2, I think the game ended at with Seattle getting the victory, but I think there's going to be runs in this one between these two pitchers. Tampa Bay, Seattle over the total is the way I play this one.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree. I think the Rays do get the win tonight. Something I was picking up on Logan Evans. This is his first full season. I think he's actually a true rookie this year for the Mariners. Again, great patterns. We're talking about this with DeGrom and some of these other pitchers. He's 2-0 at home against National League opponents that are not very good, theoretically, Miami and Washington. Miami obviously showing upside, but key point, just NL East opponents as a favorite. He's 2-0 at home in the division, wins against Houston and Texas, but he's 0-2 at home against American League out-of-division opponents. And a very specific game, which I think correlates directly to this, he hosted Toronto on Saturday night, May 10th, same exact time, 9:40 p.m., 6:40 local on a Saturday night. He laid the same exact line number, -125 open, and the same total, 8, versus Bowden Francis. For those of you guys who are forgetting Bowden Francis, very similar pitcher to Joe Boyle, a lot of straight fastballs, and the game was graded in the same environment, and Toronto did win the game 6-3. Final point on this, when you really look at Tampa Bay here, versus the run differential conversation, they're currently 3 games under 500, 57-60. Their run differential is plus 46. Again, I said it with Texas. You want to buy this team. Seattle's 11 games over 500, only plus 31. That is an extreme discrepancy. You want to buy low Tampa Bay. They're going to find it at some point. We said this about the Red Sox early season. The Red Sox had lost 17 one-run games. You saw what happened when the Red Sox found it. All of a sudden, they skyrocketed in the standings. This is just baseball. It's 162. Teams can just hover in mediocrity forever and then catch wind. I think Tampa Bay is next, right alongside Texas. 52 minutes, and we got best bets.
Yes, we do. Let's go.
Saturdays are for Sunday at the Shark and the Gun. Our guy Brandon says, Shark, help me out with your best straight pick. Make this watered-down coffee taste a little bit better. Gunz, I'll give you the first opportunity. Give Brandon some top picks.
Oh, come on now. I think we got to do with the old collabo with the KC money line. This team is going to get it done against Minnesota. They lost yesterday, so they have a little bit of a bounce-back factor in this one. I love that play. Also, the free play that I'm going to go with here with the Boston Red Sox getting it done. Just ride the hot team. Against the San Diego team, Michael King coming back from is going to be his first start since May 18th. I think he's going to come out a little bit rusty, and I think Giolito just, Boston just played well for him. So I think it's going to be Boston money line and KC money line. Those are the 2 plays I'll give out here officially for the show.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to have at least 7 VIP plays. If you guys haven't signed up for my package and the gun, please do. We have
and a max bet today for the guy right here. I got a monster today. Not a monster. Max bet. I can't say monster. I'm not going to put 10 units on this one, but I'll put 5. I'll put 5 on it.
We are data abundant. It's time to dominate. I'm giving you guys the Astros money line early spot here in the Bronx. Framber Valdez, great bounce back pitcher, 2-0 on the road off of a start where he gave up 4 runs or more. And Fade Luis Hill, this guy's just sketchy as hell. And taking the over in the Reds Pirates game, the number you can get right now is 8. So we got 4 top plays there. Gunz, we got a few minutes. You want to put together a little parlay for the people?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's look at the board here. I mean, we got to put KC in there, obviously. They put Texas in there.
Okay.
I'm looking for some juicy ones. I don't trust Rodriguez. Nope. I mean, Dodgers, right? You think Dodgers, right? Yeah. Shoot. I want to say wow, this is some real competitive games here today. I'll say that. I got put Cleveland money line in there too.
Okay,
I like those. What else you got?
You got KC, Texas, Houston. Oh, I put Houston on there.
If you like Houston, throw that in there. Why not?
That's 3. Dodgers, Cleveland. That's 5 money lines. I put Cincinnati, Pittsburgh over 8. That's 6. Maybe we get one more. What do you think? A's, Orioles over?
Yeah. Yep. Let's do that. Let's put a total in there.
Okay.
I like that.
What I see 9.5 here. Is it 9 anywhere?
I think if you can go to you probably can go to BetMGM and you can go to DraftKings and tick that line down. It'll be over 9 with some juice. But you can definitely go get that right now because I'm seeing just on FanDuel right now, it's minus 102 on the juice on 9.5. So I think you can probably get it down with minus 130 or something like that would probably be at 9. So
okay, so that's 7. 7's a good number. We'll just roll with that. All right, so here's the parlay. Just throw that up on the screen real quick. Saturday parlay, August the 9th, 2025. Kansas City money line, Texas money line, Houston money line, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh over 8, Dodgers money line, Cleveland money line, Athletics, Baltimore over 9 at minus 130. 56 minutes in, Gun. Give them some words and I'll close them out.
Yeah, shout out to the chat, you guys. I've seen some new faces, or actually I've seen some old faces start to come back. I saw Archimedes, my man, coming back into the building. College football is going to be coming around the corner. NFL is going to be coming around the corner. Go check out our deals on Telegram. Get into the season packages and join us for the ride. Both of us had a tremendous NFL season last year, and college football is my jam. Last 5 years, I've been just making bank on college football. I love it. It's my niche. Go check that out. Please join up for the entire season, and we will cash tickets. I promise. Also, check out Why Lose Guns, Why Lose Shark on Instagram, and Gunz Picks, and Sharks and Sports 88 on X. And I'm glad you guys are part of the show. I won't be here tomorrow. It'll be the Prop Master and the Shark tomorrow, Sunday. So please give them some love. Join the show, get into the chat, and make sure you always, always, always hit the like button on the videos. That's what gets us in the algorithm of all algorithms that YouTube deems fit. So I appreciate you guys. Let's have ourselves a day, Shark.
Yeah, absolutely. Just for the record, we're not on tomorrow. We had some conflicts there.
Oh, okay. My bad. I thought there was a show tomorrow.
Yeah, I would have liked to be, but we have some production issues. So we'll see you guys on Monday. It will be Coach and Luke. And speaking of Coach and Luke, closing it out for Jay Cavalier, cashing tickets around the world, the Prop Master, Luke Shuey, and Coach Rick. He is the gun. I am the Shark. Stay fast, stay strong, stay disciplined, and let's dominate.
Cut my life into pieces. This is my last resort. Suffocation, no